here to represent the Zashman framework. In 1987, Zashman framework introduced a framework for information systems architecture that has been widely adopted by systems analysts and database designers for the creation, design, and production of complex machine systems such as airplanes. The framework as it applies to enterprise is simply a logical structure for classifying and organizing the descriptive representation of an enterprise that are significant to the management of the enterprise as well as to the development of enterprise systems. It uses a grid model based around 6 basic questions: what, how, where, who, when, and why, asked of 5 nominated stakeholders groups: planner, owner, designer, builder, and subcontractors, to give a holistic view of the enterprise which is being modeled. The rows represent the point of view of different players in the system's development process, while columns represent different aspects of the process. The rows are separated as follows. 1. Scope, definition of enterprise direction and business purpose, corresponds to an executive summary for a planner who wants an estimate of the size, cost, and functionality of the system. This is necessary to establish the context for any system development effort. Column 2, model of the business. This defines in business terms the nature of the business, including its structure, functions, organization, and so forth. In other words, shows all the business entities and process and how they interact. Row 3, model of the information system. This defines the business described in step 2 but in more rigorous information terms, where row 2 describes business functions, for example, as perceived by the people performing them. Row 3 describes them specifically as transformations of data, where row 2 describes all the things of interest to the enterprise. Row 3 describes those things about which the organization wishes to collect and maintain information, and begins to describe that information. Row 4, technology model. This describes how technology may be used to address the information processing needs identified in the previous rows. Here, relational databases are chosen over network ones. Kinds of language are selected and program structure are defined. User interfaces are described, and so forth. Row 5, detailed representations. Here a particular language is chosen, and the program listings, database specifications, networks, and so forth are all produced. Row 6, functioning system. Finally, a system is implemented and made part of an organization. This framework enables senior business managers and IT professionals to understand the implication of key business and IT strategies that must be established for turbulent times. The Zashman framework is not architecture and was never proposed as such. It can be thought of as multidimensional visual checklist. The artifacts that instantiate the cells of the framework for a given architecture are indeed architectures or subsets of an architecture, depending on one's point of view. The framework itself does not impose architecture rigor, although following its constructs would reduce the probability of mishap in architecture defined using the framework adopting the framework. In fact, in later work, Dashman introduced some principles to guide the use of his framework and also speculated about some of the tools and methods that would make the framework's adoption less labor intensive. Thank you for your patience.